So, for the sake of our storytelling today, these are jewels. Not Legos, jewels,
They're
okay?
jewels.
You got it? So everybody can take a few jewels out of our treasure chest. Okay? But watch out, I hear there's a dragon nearby. Who can find the dragon? Look around, maybe you can find him. Did anybody find the dragon? There he is. Okay. Watch out. Just take a few. You need like a little pile, okay? It's okay. There's plenty. There's plenty. And now I want you to listen to the story carefully because it's a story about wanting too many jewels, maybe. Okay, that's enough, Cece. Thank you. You got a few? You got some more? Okay. All right. All right, so now, listen up. Father David has a story to tell.
Once upon a time, there was a very greedy dragon. Now, it's well known among those wise in the ways of dragons that dragons are fond of gold and jewels. They love to gather them into huge piles and roll about in the piles. But this dragon, whose name was Fang, and here's his picture. One for everybody. Just pass them out. This dragon's name was Fang because he had such long, pointy teeth. He was especially possessive of his hoard. When other dragons invited him to join them in grabbing some sheep for dinner or flying around scaring humans in a village, Fang would always say the same thing. "Oh, you go ahead and have fun. I need to stay here and protect my gold from thieves." The only time Fang ever left his lair was when his far-seeing magic allowed him to detect gold or jewels somewhere. Then he would roll very, very heavy stones over the entrance to his lair. He would cast a spell of binding so no one except him would be able to get in. Then off he'd go to steal or grab whatever treasure there was to steal or grab, returning with the loot to his lair. Rawr. After a while, you know what happened? The other dragons stopped asking Fang to join them. And of course, he never asked any dragons to join him on his treasure hunt because he wanted it all for himself. Fang was still hungry for more and more. No doubt, Fang would have continued to live the same way for a very, very long time. Dragons can live as long, I'm told, as 1,000 years. But then, one day, when Fang was playing with his most recent grab of loot, the jewels, something unusual happened. 2 small human children, a boy and a girl, showed up at his cave. Fang was so surprised at seeing children at his cave, he forgot to roar. He forgot to breathe fire. Instead, he spoke to the children in what, for him, was a fairly low voice. He asked, "Little humans, do you know who I am?" "Oh, yes," said the girl. "You're Fang, the dragon who hoards." "And I suppose you think you can slip by me and steal some of my hoard." "Oh, no," said the boy. "From what I've heard, nothing gets by you into your cave. They are burned by your fiery breath, or torn to shreds by your mighty talons, or just gobbled up whole." "So why aren't you terrified? Why aren't you trying to run away as fast as you can? Because we've been sent to give the Spirit's gifts to you from God, said the little girl. Now, Fang wasn't so sure about this God business, but he was greedy. And so he decided, I'll grab the kids' gifts, and then I'll eat them for an afternoon snack. Where is this gift from God? The dragon asked. In our hands, said the children. Fang looked. I don't see anything in your hands. We just need to touch you, and you'll receive the gift, they said. Well, this sounded strange to Fang, but figuring little humans couldn't possibly hurt him, Fang stretched out toward the children one of his large front legs. Both children touched the leg at the same time. And after the children had touched Fang, all of a sudden, he saw just how greedy he was. He had all his stuff, but never used it to help anyone. He never shared it in any way. You know what else? Fang saw how alone he was. He had no one to talk to, no one to play with. He also saw how he had hurt so many people to grab all his stuff. And what good was any of it to him? Fang looked around and realized that while he had all this stuff, he had no friends, no family, no one who loved him. And he was suddenly very sad. This is no gift, roared Fang. This is horrible. It hurts. Take it away, and leave me. Really, there are two gifts, said the boy. The first gift of the Spirit is the gift of truth. That's seeing yourself the way you really are. And the second gift of the Spirit, said the girl, is healing warmth in love, a warmth more powerful than your fiery breath. And with that, the children, who were really angels, vanished. Fang had gotten very confused about what would make him happy, what would help him lead the kind of life that God dreamed for him. Fang had come to believe that if he only had more stuff, he would finally be happy. Have you ever felt like that? If only you had more stuff, you'd be happy? But what Fang learned that day is he wanted all the wrong things. Or maybe he realized that no amount of things would ever make him truly happy. And maybe he also learned that he wasn't really alone. He became more interested in spending more time with his fellow dragons and less interested in grabbing stuff for his hoard. Now, I have to tell you, I doubt that Fang stopped grabbing sheep, because that is what a hungry dragon does, grabs sheep. But maybe Fang became less interested in frightening humans and more interested in understanding them. And what about those gifts? You children know. You've already got the first gift of the Spirit. When my children and grandchildren were very young, about your age, they always were able to speak what was true and to see what was true. They did not like lies. But for we grown-ups, it's sometimes hard to see the truth. We live in a world filled with lies. It's even harder for grown-ups to see the truth about themselves, especially if they built a wall around themselves, a wall of lies, a wall of false picture of power like Fang's. That is why we grown-ups, and sometimes children, need the first gift of the Spirit to open our eyes to the truth. But you know what? The difficult truth about ourselves is hard to live with, especially if the truth is, well, if you're a bully, like Fang. The shock of seeing himself as weak was hard to bear. That's why we, all of us, need the second gift of the Spirit, God's gift of compassionate healing. Unlike Fang's treasures, the gifts of the Spirit cannot be grabbed or stolen. They can only be given away to and from each of us, here together in this meeting we call church, so that we may learn how to share those gifts in the world. Amen.